Are you ready to take control of your own health? Do you want to create a plan that will improve your health and vitality without the use of synthetic drugs or needless surgery? Hi, this is Dr. Tom Roselle. I would like to invite you to join me and the Roselle Center for Healing for an information, fun-filled day that will change the state of your health and quality of life. Ageless Health 2011 will provide you with the resources to begin your journey towards being stronger, having greater physical performance, and living longer without impairment, pain, or disease. Ageless Health is about realizing that your health is a do-it-yourself program. You can have it all. Ageless Health 2011 is your first step towards creating and enhancing your natural health plan. Register today to reserve your seat.
Ageless Health 2011 is September 17th at the Fairview Park Marriott. Learn more at rosellecare.com. Don't miss out Ageless Health 2011. Register today. Call 703-698-7117. 703-698-7117.
Dr. Tom Roselle live right now, 630 WMAL.
Welcome to Dr. Tom Roselle Live. This is Dr. Tom Roselle. I'm live in studio. Give me a call today, 888-630-9625. That's 888-630-WMAL. Love to talk to you on any subject you have in mind. Perhaps you've had a problem and you've tried, you've applied, and come up with same old, not a whole lot of anything that works. Well, this is your opportunity. Without drugs, without surgery, without the pain and strain of seeing yourself break down, give me a call, 888-630-9625. Interesting information for you today, some things that you need to have, particularly as time passes and the weather gets hotter on this nasty summer that we're having. However, there's ways to adapt. But the whole thing is about maintaining and growing and developing your wellness. Let's call it the wonder of wellness. You know, I read articles ongoingly about health. Well, health is not wellness. And what I want you to understand is the difference between the two. I wrote my book, Ageless Health 101, Health is a Do-It-Yourself Program, about maintaining and gaining the paradigm of wellness. So what you need to know is what is wellness and how you can achieve it, understanding the wonder of wellness, because it's your birthright. It's something that you need to know as much about as you possibly can. How do you put the pieces of the puzzle together? How do you develop wellness? And, you know, we've got to take a look at the term, and we need to understand what it really all wraps around. Going back, rolling the clock back in 1961, a guy by the name of Dr. Halbert Dumm, don't take the name literally because he wasn't. He wrote a book called High Level of Wellness, in which he basically defined it as a lifestyle approach to pursuing elevated states of physical, psychological well-being. Think about that for a second. Well-being. What is well-being? Well-being means maximizing your genetic capacity, your ability, what you got that was given to you, and how do you put it to work for yourself so you can live your life ongoingly without breaking down and checking out one night while you're asleep and you just kind of leave the planet. Well, this is what we want to do. We want to define the wellness paradigm. In the field that I'm in, my original degree in chiropractic, what we need to understand is that probably chiropractors, more than any other professional, recognizes the body's natural ability to heal itself. This is why that I've spent more than 35 years of my professional career educating my patients and lay groups and professional groups on the benefits of a wellness lifestyle. And what does that mean? We're talking about proper nutrition. We're talking about exercise. We're talking about going to see your chiropractor on a routine basis and watching the things that you do and learning how to put the pieces together. I want you to be able to perform. I want my patients to be able to perform at maximum efficiency. And what that ends up in is an unbelievably high level of improved function. So let's talk about that. Let's put it together, because there's actually steps you can take, and you need to know those. You need to know how to put it into position. In the meantime, we're here at 888-630-9625, And let's talk about your subjects and your problems as well. We're going to talk a little bit later on about Ageless Health 101, or Ageless Health, our program, our keynote, September the 17th, coming up very rapidly, about 2 months away, almost less than that now. And seating is diminishing, so if you're going to attend, you need to pick up the phone and call my office at 703-698-7117, or go on site, go to rosellecare.com, that's ROSELLECARE.com, and register online. It's important that you understand that you are the driving force in your health and your wellness, and you have to put it together so you can maximize your life, your capacity, your ability, your understanding of why you're actually here. See, let me talk to you about the medical versus wellness care model. Okay, there's a huge difference overall between the two. Medical care, let's talk about allopathic, that's drugs and surgery, and wellness care, and that's simply two different ends of the spectrum. In the medical world, they're still treating symptoms instead of getting to the underlying cause of the problem. If you have arteries that are starting to clog up, what do they give you? They're going to try to give you something that is going to block the progression of that plaquing. If you have diabetes because you don't have enough insulin, they're going to give you artificial insulin, not your own. If you have a headache, they're going to give you something to kill the headache or kill the pain. The question that doesn't get answered is, why is that? How come? Why are the things there to begin with? How did you start the plaquing? Why is it that your pancreas is now sluggish and not being able to produce insulin? But better yet, what happens when you do have adequate insulin, but you're still in a state of high blood sugar, and that they identify the inability of that insulin to transport your blood sugar into tissue? There's a reason those things happen. And unfortunately, the big problem lies in the fact that the medicines that in the allopathic community that they give you to handle the symptoms, the side reactions, the end product of these things have to be treated as well with more medicines. It's a domino effect, and your health continues to decline, and pretty soon you have illness that's dependent on drugs, that the drugs are dependent on other drugs, depending on more debilitation, and subsequently dependence. By focusing on symptoms instead of the body function, you overlook the root cause of all those things. And I want you, based on the things that I do, this program, what I do in the office, all the lecturing that I do, I want you to know the difference. I want you to know that habits and lifestyle influence everything that's happening to you in the underlying problem. Your health is a do-it-yourself program. Everything that's going on with you today is a result of all the things that you've done up until this moment in time, all the choices you've made, whether it's emotional, whether it's biochemical, whether it's injuries that have taken place. But your body is not a result, your symptoms are not a result, your conditions are not a result of a lack of drugs in your body. See, your body will produce every drug that it ever needed. You just got to get out of the way, and you got to quit doing the things to it that's breaking it down. On the other hand, wellness comes from a place of recognizing that symptoms are there for a reason. They're actually an alerting system. There's something that gives you a heads up, say, hey, something's just not right. And you have to begin to seek really why it's there if you want to resolve the problem. If you don't care, then you take the drugs and, you go down the tubes. However, let's dissect this thing. Let's figure out what it really is, and maybe you can do something about it. 888-630-9625. That's 888-630-WMAL. How do stressors begin to affect you? What you may not realize is that your body is constantly adapting to all kinds of things, things that just aren't quite right, and it tries to compensate. It tries to put other things in face of whatever insult that you may have, whether it's injuries that you've accumulated and you've stacked over a period of time, or there are toxins that are continuing to come into your body, and you keep, doing the same things, drinking the same things, putting the same foods in your body, having the exposures to the electromagnetic fields that we have around us. But traumas and the emotions and the toxins begin to mount over time. Subsequently, your body starts showing symptoms. You feel pain, you hurt, your headache, is throbbing. You go to your doc and your cholesterol's up, or, you name the condition, and we go from there. patient comes in and they have allergic responses to something. So typically, how do you treat them in medical? You give something to decrease the inflammatory response and quiet the coughing and open up the airways, but nothing's being done to go back to what caused that to begin with. Why is the immune system not functioning the way it's supposed to? What part of the nervous system doesn't work anymore? What are you doing environmentally that you shouldn't be doing? Sugar, sodas, coffee, teas, fast food, fried foods, alcohol, gluten, additives, and so forth, right? What are you putting into your body that is causing you to be symptomatic? Wellness has to be a proactive situation. Think of wellness in terms of promoting better health through preventing the problem. What you want to do is you want to be proactive in stopping things. So in that context, why wait until the symptoms appear before, when you have the back pain, you have the GERD, you have the fatigue, you have the shortness of breath, you got the allergy reactions, and God forbid the cancer or the heart attack or the cardiovascular disease or the clot to the brain. Why don't we look at it from a preventive point of view? Why don't we look at what the structural component is? Why don't we look at, I'm still smoking? Why don't we look at, do I really need that drink of alcohol? Am I eating properly? Am I getting enough protein in my diet? How about these thoughts? How do I react? It's like somebody's pushing a button every day of my life and I react the same way. I come up ready to fight and tear somebody's head off. Remember, you have two parts of the nervous system that allow you to survive. One's called the parasympathetic system, and the other one is called the sympathetic system. So what do those words mean? Well, sympathetic means that you go into protective mode. It's the fight-flight reaction. The tiger's coming after you, and you're going to either run or you're going to try to fight that tiger. And in the workaday world, you're either going to handle whatever upset that's in front of you, or you're going to kind of internalize it and move away. But that sympathetic response is still working. The problem is many of us are in a situation where it's constant. We don't ever see a break. The parasympathetic system is that system that controls and works the internal environment. It works the digestive system and the pancreas and all of those other things that are vital to our life. See, but the two can't work at maximum levels together, one or the other. The sympathetic system, when it's operational and your heart rate goes up and your muscles get stronger because of the adrenaline that's being poured into the system, does it at the expense of the internal environment. And so you can't digest food, so foods rot in your system. You can't go after the bacterium and the fungus and the virus and the mold, and you're doing something else. Did you ever notice that when you get sick, it's usually after a profound bout of stress? You go through the stress and all these emotions are going on and you're trying to fight things on a day-to-day basis, and it's not until you say, it's over with, that a few days later, a week or 2 or 3 weeks later, a month later, you get sick. And brother, do you get sick. You just collapse. And you find out that your body's just not working the way that it should work. You're not doing the things that you need to get done. Well, there's a whole thing about symptoms, and let me tell you about that. Symptoms are not the problem, but what they are, remember, they are an alert signal to something that's going on underneath, and you can't silence them with medication. The problem continues. The body has an inborn ability to restore itself and will adapt to any outside stressor, whether they're physical, chemical, or emotional. And these stressors just sometimes become too much, and the body will eventually wear down until you can't handle anymore. And wellness is something that you need to go after. It's not something that just happens. It's a planned event. Wellness focuses on improving function rather than hiding the symptoms. And you have to make sure that you're preventative in your activity. You're not looking at symptoms, and you have to maintain it structurally, chemically, and emotionally. And to do anything less than that is you're not taking responsibility for what you need to do. We're here at 888-630-9625. We're here 888-630-WMAL.
Dr. Tom Roselle Live continues now on 630 WMAL.
Welcome back. This is Dr. Tom Roselle. You're listening to Dr. Tom Roselle Live. I'm at 888-630-9625. That's 888-630-WMAL. Love to talk to you on any subject you may have in mind. Guess what? We're going to put the pieces together today. We're talking about wellness, what you have to do to get there. We're going to answer your questions. All you need to do is give me a call here at 888-630-9625. And we're going to talk a little bit about, after we come back from news, we're going to talk about the road to longevity, how to live longer, healthier, and happier, and the pieces that you need to do to put that together, and what you shouldn't be doing, and what that really means. Ongoing sponsor of Dr. Tom Roselle Live, as you know, Thermography Centers of Fairfax. Now, Thermography Centers, and you need to check them out. You can go online at thermographycenters.com, thermographycenters.com, or call Dareth Painter at 703-943-7248. That's 703-943-7248. Check them out. See what thermographic imaging is all about. It's a piece of the puzzle that is highly, in my opinion, extremely important that you incorporate into your annual examinations. It will show the heat signals of vascular irritation and vascular development, if you will, long before a problem ever becomes significant where you have to do major intervention. Wouldn't it be nice to find things early on so you can make a difference now, so you don't have to wait until surgery and drugs and chemotherapy and all those other nasty things, that cause your life to be impaired and take away your wellness? Thermography is something you need to incorporate. Thermographycenters.com or 703-943-7248. September the 17th, coming up very rapidly, is going to be Ageless Health 2011. I promise you, this is a day that will transform your life forever. If you take the information and you implement it, you put it to work, you will walk away that day with a whole bunch of stuff. One of the things that you're going to walk away with is a full day of highly charged, highly emotional, very applicable information that if you put one of the pieces in place, you will be so much better off than you are the day that you walked in. You have no idea. I promise you that. That's my promise to you. Ageless Health is really about taking charge of your wellness. It's about realizing that you are the one that has control, that nobody else has control. It shows you the path. It's going to challenge you to create your own wellness potential so you can do whatever you want to do. You can lead your life enthusiastic. You don't have to have pain, unlimited energy, all those things. You can do it without drugs. You can do it without surgery. And you don't have to rely on, the doc in the box to take care of you. We're going to talk about the things that are critical to the application of your well-being, and you're going to have a disc with all the information on it. You can get the printed version. We're going to enter you for $1,000 worth of health care. It's a steal. It's $99 the whole day, and it's discounted to $179 for two people if you buy both tickets at the same time. In the morning, as you're registering, we're going to do a demonstration on core training exercise that everybody can do no matter what your situation is. And then we're going to start, and I open it up, and we rock and roll, we break, we get to see the vendors that are there and the displays that they have. Then at noon, we're going to have a lunch that's going to be catered. It's an organic lunch that is we have tried to negotiate for you, and it's going to be really well. And then we're going to have a representative from the Chinese Martial Arts Institute to do demonstration on stage of Tai Chi Guan. It's a gentle, energetic movement to begin to balance and heal your system. We get back into the afternoon. We're going to have a Q&A. We're going to talk about the power of nutrition in your life. You're going to walk away being able to understand and know what you need to do nutritionally. We're going to talk about the brain and how you maximize its capacity, how you can prevent things like Alzheimer's, how to get rid of some of the things that are bugging you, really how to maximize that brain capacity. You can do it at any time of your life. It isn't stuck. It can turn. The brain is elastic. We're going to talk about your structural integrity and how it affects your immune system, how that nervous system, when it's not working optimally, that your immune system goes down the tubes. We're going to talk about the modern application of acupuncture and the work that they're doing in NIH and what that really means to you. We're going to talk about how you can begin to maximize your wellness at any age. It starts at birth, but you can apply it at any point. And we're going to teach you a concept that you are an athlete, whether you're at home, whether in your workplace. It doesn't have to be on the athletic field, but your body's moving, you're doing. We're going to teach you how to do that. And we're going to also get you to understand is that, every once in a while we're going to screw up our diets, but you never want to cheat on exercise no matter what. It's at the Fairview Park Marriott Hotel in Falls Church, Virginia, right off the National Capital Beltway. Saturday the 17th. It's a day you really, really, truly don't want to miss. And I'd love to have you there. I'd love to meet each one of you. I'd love to help you put the whole piece together. We will. We'll put together a game plan for you to implement. Give our office a call at 703-698-7117. That's 703-698-7117. Or go to rosellecare.com. And you can register online very securely, very safely. ROSELLECARE. Register today because there's not going to be many seats left if you don't get it done. So please do it. We have already the VIP section sold out very fast. The priority seating is selling out quickly. There are some seats left there. So be there with us. And I promise you a day that will be unbelievable. We'll maximize everything that you need to do. Ageless Health 2011, September the 17th. Discover the things that are really important. And I'm going to teach you, by the way, 5 vitamins that you need to take to stay healthy. And I'm going to tell you about things that you need to avoid to prolong your life and how do you protect yourself from the harms of radiation and how exercise truly, truly, truly is the fountain of youth. And by the way, I'm going to tell you something that you're going to say, what? What did he say? How Obamacare can actually save your life. Yeah, well, those of you who know me know that I've got something else in my back pocket that you need to really understand about that. And I'm going to teach you really how to put the pieces together. Register. Don't wait.
Dr. Tom Roselle Live continues now on 630 WMAL. Welcome
back. This is Dr. Tom Roselle. You're listening to Dr. Tom Roselle Live. I'm at 888-630-9625. That's 888-630-WMAL. Love to talk to you. Let's deal with whatever you have on your mind. We're talking about wellness, and we're going to teach you a little bit about how to live longer and healthier and happier. But before we do that, let's go to the phones because people are there. Shirley, how can I help you?
Well, thank you. I recently had an abdominal CT scan, which showed up an atrophic and partially fatty replaced pancreas, and also they said a thickening and hyperemia at the fundus of the gallbladder, which may reflect adenomyosis. Sorry, I have no idea what those terms signify, and
that just means you have a fatty gallbladder, and your liver is
not the liver,
or not the liver. I'm sorry, the pancreas and the gallbladder. But the problem is that your liver's involved too. But let's go ahead.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that means. Fatty replaced, partially fatty replaced pancreas, and whether there's anything that can be done about it.
Here's what's taking place is that your body is failing to metabolize fat adequately because it's being overburdened, and so that fat is beginning to accumulate around these different organ systems. And the tissue.
I eat very little fat. If that's
it doesn't have anything to do with that.
Okay.
You can be predisposed to it. It can be toxic exposure. It can be some medications. What drugs are you taking right now?
For high blood pressure, Atacand and high HCTZ, and for early breast cancer, the aromatase inhibitor.
Which one is it?
It begins with an A. Why can't I think of it? And also I am taking 4.5 milligrams of LDN, which should be an immune booster, hopefully.
Okay, so when you're dealing with an aromatase inhibitor, the problem is that a lot of these things that you're taking have really nasty side effects, and some of the things that you're talking about go right into that realm. The problem is that you're stacking one medication onto the other. HCT is a diuretic,
right.
And you're depleting your body with of some very, very essential minerals, and the body begins to lose its capacity to work. The first thing that's going to happen with all the drugs, let's just take it on a very simple level without getting into the different pathways, is that they all have to be filtered through your liver. And the liver is now the different phases. Phase 1, phase 2 of liver detoxification is not going to work properly. And so subsequently you're going to get a backup. You're not going to be able to release the fatty stores of the liver glycogen. And when that takes place, you end up with all this fat accumulation. Problem is now your enzymes from your pancreas and your enzymes from your gallbladder can't get in and work. So you're going to bloat, you're going to get distended, you're going to hurt. Your stool is going to look fatty and greasy because your body can't handle that stuff. But the problem is that you can go into failure. Now, with these medications, your doctor should be monitoring your gallbladder, your liver enzymes, and on a very regular basis. To not do that, he's going to let you go down a tread that you're going to get to a place where pretty soon you're going to have surgeries. The problem with
it's a Arimidex. I'm sorry, the aromatase inhibitor, right?
Yeah, it has. Arimidex can cause a lot of the things that your doctor is trying to fight. The side effects sometimes are the same as the symptoms that they're trying to treat. You're dealing with something that is a carcinogenic. It can cause cancers. One of the areas, unfortunately, is the area that you're starting to get fatty infiltration in. You can go online and check this out, by the way, and check everything I'm telling you. Go to drugs.com, drugs.com. Put the name of the drugs that you're taking into the little block that they have in there, and they'll let you stack them. They'll let you say, okay, I'm taking this one, I'm taking this one, I'm taking this one. Push the button, and it'll give you the compounded effect of the medications that you're taking. But my suggestion to you, and I'm not trying to put fear into you, is that I think that you need to have another medical opinion, and because what you're doing right now is going to cause you some end-stage problems that I think, in my opinion, are preventable. But to tell you that there are nutritional things that will assist you, which there are, by the way, there are things that you can do, without knowing everything about you, I'm going to lead you down a trail that, in your particular situation, you need medical help that is going to say, these things aren't working the way that we want them to do. We're starting to see this. I would suggest that you give a call maybe to George Washington University Hospital and check them out. They have a department of integrative and alternative medicine there that they will work with the rest of the physicians to help you. But again, I'm not hedging. This is one of those conditions that I think that you need additional help with.
Okay, thank you very much.
Shirley, you're welcome. Make that phone call tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
888-630-9625. That's 888-630-WMAL. Love to talk to you on any subject that you have in mind. We're talking about a few different things. And by the way, a case like this, whenever there is this type of situation brewing, there's a lot that can be done from an integrated point of view. There's a lot that can be done nutritionally. There's a lot can be done with acupuncture. But in this particular situation where we've got stacked medications that are already causing more than likely damage to the organ systems, it's time to begin to see if there's other alternatives in addition to the things that can be done in the natural world. And there's a lot that can be done in the natural world. 888-630-9625. That's 888-630-WMAL. Love to talk to you. Let's talk about the road to longevity, how the body actually can live longer, healthier, and you can be a whole lot happier because of it. Harvard scientists made an interesting observation, and that the shortness, if you will, or the shortest living Americans are Native American populations in South Dakota. And they don't live too long, 66.5 years. And where the greatest longevity are people who live in, interestingly enough, are Asian American women residing in Bergen County, New Jersey. Their average lifespan is 91.1 years. So what's that all about? And nearly 25-year difference. I don't get it. But, after reading this article, it said, wow, so 25 extra years. So how do we get it done? What are the secrets? What happens, if you got a body that's together, a mind that's together, and, what are the other secrets for active lifestyle and getting you to those years that are older? Well, they did a study, and they put it all together, and what they did is they came up with some very interesting end products, right? Healthy habits and making the right choices can increase your lifespan, obviously, up to at least 25 years. So when examining the research that's out there on factors that contribute to longevity and long, healthy life, it's not hard to see the behaviors that make huge differences one way or the other. So here's what you need to keep in mind, and these are the things that I teach my patients. First of all, don't smoke. And if you haven't started, don't ever start. And, if you are smoking, quit. Do whatever you possibly can to quit, because it's going to come back and it's going to bite you one way or the other. You're not getting oxygen to the tissue. You're substituting all kinds of debris and garbage into the tissue. You got to have a healthy diet and high intake of fruits and vegetables. Not to do that is cutting your own longevity. You're cutting your throat. You're going to bleed to death slowly. And they need to be organic. They have to be organic. Otherwise, you're getting pesticides and you're getting junk and you're getting garbage. Make sure they're organic. And you have to have consistent, everyday physical activity that makes a part of your leisure time. You have to have the ability to go, okay, and whether it's going for a walk, I've told you before repetitively that just walking 2 miles a day, you're going to decrease the risk of dying from any disease process by 50%. 50%. Just walk 2 miles every day. Nothing else. Just get out there and walk easily and walk gently and walk slowly. You got to maintain a good, healthy weight and avoid being fat. We use the word obesity, but it's fat. Got to get rid of the fat. Now, patients will come to me, I don't want to weigh that much. It's not about the weight. It's about the distribution of the fat proportionate to the weight. If you weigh 200 pounds and you're a man somewhere between 10 and 15% body fat, you're not fat. If you're 180 pounds, 185 pounds, same man, and your body fat is 20%, you're fat. Ladies, if your body fat is between 18 and 23%, generally you're not fat, no matter what your weight is. But if you're really low weight, a lot of you like to be thin, but your body fat can be much higher than what you expect it to be. It's about body fat. You got to get it down. There was a study that followed 20,000 men and women, and their age brackets were from 45 years old to 79 years old, and they followed them through for 13 years, so it wasn't a short study. And they found that poor lifestyle choices can shorten your lifespan by as much as 14 years. 14 years. So when you make these poor choices, you hit Mickey D's and all the fast food places, and you don't want to stay home and cook, and you're stressed out to the gills, and it's going to shorten your time on this planet. But not only shorten your time, but it's going to shorten the way you enjoy that time that you got here. So researchers found that the subjects with the lowest number of healthy behaviors were 4 times more likely that during the study period to have notable cardiovascular problems, heart attacks, clogged arteries, dementia. And in fact, when they went through all the data, the participants with the lowest healthy lifestyle scores had the same risk of dying as someone with the highest healthy lifestyle scores who was 14 years older. I mean, that's significant. That's not garbage. That's real hard data. So doesn't it tell you something? Don't you have a choice to make here someplace? 4 healthy lifestyle behaviors identified by researchers that are contributing to longevity were simply this: stop smoking, and that was associated with 80% improvement in lifespan. If you stop smoking, you're going to increase your ability to live, and increase your consumption of fresh fruits and vegetables, and moderate alcohol consumption, like maximum, if you're a drinker, a glass of wine a day, and I don't mean a half a bottle glass. I mean have 4 to 6 ounces, and that's it. Grain alcohol, in my opinion, causes too much stress to metabolize. So if you're going to drink something that is a organic, non-sulfite wine. Red wine is best, and resveratrol is high in those things. But you got to make sure that you have a liver that can handle it, because otherwise you got a problem. Combined impact of health behavior is something that has been known about for a long time. There's information that's been published ongoingly, and if you do the research, you're going to find it. So here's the deal. Why risk problems? If you really agree with what I just talked about, and there's tons of studies out there. There's another one out there that is about 24,000 German men and women ages 35 to 65, and they found that lifestyle factors that they changed slashed dramatically. If you did those things that we just talked about, it slashed the risk of cardiovascular disease and diabetes and cancer by 80%. 80%. Huge. Doesn't that mean something to you? I look at my patients and I say, the evidence is there. Why don't you do something about it? There was another study out there that went on for 12 years, and it was over 11,000 adults, and they found that underweight people were 70% more likely to die during the study period compared to people of normal weight. So even the people who were too light didn't have the capacity to live longer. We said, well, lower calories, less weight, not necessarily true. Remember, it's about fat distribution. It's about the ability of oxygen to get in the system. So you have to look in between the lines and see what people are really trying to tell you. Exercise, dietary control, good emotional stability. You're going to live longer and you're going to enjoy the process. To ignore that, it's Russian roulette. You've got a revolver in your hand, you've got a couple of bullets in it, you're spinning the chamber, and pretty soon, guess what happens? The odds are that you're all done on this planet.
Dr. Tom Roselle Live continues now on 630 WMAL.
Welcome back. This is Dr. Tom Roselle. You're listening to Dr. Tom Roselle Live. I'm at 888-630 WMAL. We've been talking about some very interesting topics. How to increase your wellness quotient, and more than that, how to live long and healthy and to enjoy the process, by the way. And that's really something that all of us should strive for. Health is a do-it-yourself program. It's the name of my book, and you all should have it at this point. So you can use it as a manual, so you can begin to mark it up and say, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. It tells you how to get leverage on yourself. It tells you how to do certain things. Go online to RoselleCare.com, and you can order the book online. And if you stop by the office, I might even sign it for you. Just, order the book, come on by, I'll sign it, and say hello to me. So here's the deal. Wanted to let you know that something is active on the website, too. Go to RoselleCare.com, and I've told you about the MTV program, True Life. It's active. You'll be able to see it. So go online, check it out, and click the button, and it'll take you through the whole 40-minute segment. I think you're going to enjoy it. It's definitely worth it. And speaking of life is worth it, when you have your health, first of all, you got more money in your pocket because you don't have to spend it on all kinds of stuff. When you have your health, you can do the things that you want to. You don't have pain. You can go out and play. You can do the things that you need to do. When you have your health, your brain works. You can function. You make better choices. When you have your health, emotionally, you sit there and say, wow, this is a really great thing. But not to have your health, all those things that we just talked about are totally opposite. So do your homework. There's an article that was written by a guy by the name of Kaplan and et al., his colleagues, and it was in the Journal of Gerontology. And it was a series of biological science and identified the most important predictors of excellent health. And it's the absence of chronic illness. So you need to do that. And by the way, it's people who work and have vibrancy in their work production. And these people don't drink heavily. Occasionally they have something. They never smoke. They maintain a great positive outlook. They look for challenges. Everything that happens in their life, they say, this is a good thing. Let's see how we can apply it. They don't get into the pity party that so many of us get into. And, it's a great article. Read it. I think you'll enjoy it, and it'll really lay out the problem. If I can ever help you, whether it's here or offline, you need to call me at 703-698-7117. One of my staff will get back to you, or you can do it by just going online. Write me a note at RoselleCare.com. Let's go back to the phones and see what we have. Anna? Hello? Hello? Anna?
Rhiannon, yes.
Oh,
Hi.
Leanna, I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'm sitting here staring at the screen, and I took my glasses off, and I could only see the ANA. I'm sorry.
No
Anyway,
problem.
How can I help you?
My husband just turned 58, and in the last 2 weeks, he's had body aches, and his wrist and fingers have blown up and have hurt so much that he's been unable on 2 separate days within the last 2 weeks to shave or hold a pencil.
Both hands?
No, just one hand.
Okay.
But the other side of his body, his shoulder's been really hurting.
All the fingers?
All the fingers.
Okay, and they're swollen. Are they hot or are they just swollen?
There's heat.
Okay.
So he was told to go to a rheumatologist. They did the blood work. And, of course, I'm afraid he's got rheumatoid arthritis, and I'm a little worried that they're going to try to send him down the prednisone drug road.
That's what they're going to do. So
what can you do for him?
Lots. Rheumatoid is an autoimmune adrenal function problem, often starting in the intestinal tract and with the adrenal glands. And so you have to identify first what's bad in the intestinal lining. He may be highly gluten sensitive. The adrenal system may not be producing enough cortisol, and so he's reacting. Or if it's an early stage, he may be producing way too much cortisol in a stress reaction, which can cause those inflammatory reactions to occur. So you have to see, where the initiators are from. But if you get the intestinal tract in control, you upregulate the sympathetic nervous system so the body can begin to heal. You balance the adrenal glands out. There's tons of herbs, but we deal with rheumatoid patients every day. It's something that can be done.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Leanne. Thank you for calling. I'm here every Sunday trying to give you the best information I possibly can and the stuff that's out there now, things that you can do to help yourself, because really that's what it's all about. If you need to talk to me or you need to talk to one of my staff, one of us will get back to you always. You can go to RoselleCare.com, RoselleCare.com. Call my office at 703-698-7117. Somebody will get back to you and we'll answer your questions as specifically as we possibly can. Remember, we have ongoing healthcare programs in our office every other week. We want you to be aware of that. You're always invited. Please be our guest. And I'm here every Sunday at 888-630-WMAL. Trying to bring you the most up-to-date information possible. This is Dr. Tom Roselle, hoping that you take your life and remember it is a do-it-yourself program. I'll see you next week, 12 noon, right here on WMAL. Health is a do-it-yourself program. That's reality and the title of my new book. This is Dr. Tom Roselle. Health is a do-it-yourself program is a most understandable introduction to natural health care. My book will take you step by step through why the body breaks down and gets sick, but also how it repairs itself. You will finally understand the often confusing world of natural care. Order it today by going to Amazon.com or from our website, RoselleCare.com. That's RoselleCare.com.
Did you know that routine mammograms can increase radiation exposure to breast tissue 1,000 times over a chest X-ray? Now consider a simple, non-invasive, and totally safe medical procedure approved by the FDA since 1982 that can detect breast cancer 5 to 8 years before it can be visualized on a mammogram. Infrared thermographic imaging can accurately detect the initial signs of breast cancer as increased blood supply and metabolic rate, which is